Do you have a frontal that looks like this? I'm talking about tragic, just balding, shedding, and you don't have coins to buy a new one? Well, don't worry about it, boo, because I'm here and I got you. I'm going to show you how to recover your old frontal and make it look brand new. Stick around. Hey guys, it's Vanya. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you're a returner, welcome and thank you for coming back. Now guys, right now this is a wig in frontal that I made a year and a half ago, and you know it's time for me to retire it, but I'm gonna show you how I made it last this long. As you can see, it's balding, it's shedding, it's dry, and there's glue all over it. It's just a hot mess. And yeah, this is not gonna fly anymore. So I'm gonna show you how I repair it. So to start this off, guys, I'm gonna give this a really good wash out all the product, you know, all the glue, all the conditioner, all the concealer, everything that's in here. And I'm just going to use my argan oil, Moroccan oil shampoo. You know, it really hydrates the hair, and I'm doing my best to clean it all out, just so that way I can repair this the correct way. So I'm just scrubbing and lathering up the front where I was laying my edges, because you know they were laid. So I'm just scrubbing all of that got to be glue out and all that glue out. Also going to be washing the whole wig because it's dirty, you know, so it's just that time, so that's what I'm going to be doing right now. Oh, and if you're enjoying my little voiceover videos, one of my first, I appreciate you watching. Go ahead and follow me on Twitter because I do a lot of talking there. You know, drop some gems once or twice a day, maybe. Just go ahead and follow me on Twitter. It's fine. It's fine. So right now, guys, I'm giving this, you know, washing out the second wash, and I'm about to wash it a third time because I really want to make sure it's as clean as possible. Really want to make sure that lace is clean. And I'm just going to use the Shimmer Light shampoo just so that way I can tone the hair as well. It was on the yellow side, as you guys can see. So I just want to make sure that I tone it as much as possible, and just wash that all out so I can get all that brassiness out so it can look brand new and real fresh. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just doing that. So right now I just grab a couple of bundles that I had laid onto the side so that way I can be using this to repair the frontal. So these are just some tracks that I had that, you know, matches my hair, and I'm just washing it and toning it just like I did the wig so everything can match when I use it to repair the frontal later on in the video. So I'm just giving that a couple of washes so that way it can match the wig. Alright guys, so right now I'm just going ahead and condition it. I gave it a couple of washes, you know, I just want to make sure that it's moisturized and, you know, rehydrates, combing out the frontal for any knots that may occur during the wash shampoo process, just so that way it can look spanking new when I repair this later on in the video. Just make sure you comb it out gently so that way you don't add any more balding to your frontal. Okay guys, after letting my hair dry overnight, this is the end result. See, the brassiness, majority of it is gone. You know, you see how short that hair is. Baby girl, we're gonna have to fix that. So what I'm doing right now is I'm going to spray my wig. The reason why I'm doing this is so that way I can lay the frontal as much as possible, because I need a clear part. Because of all the balding and all the shedding and how tore up this frontal is, I have to make a decision how I want my part, so that way I can repair the frontal as much as possible. So I'm decided to do a side part because that's the best way I can cover any baldness and any shedding that's happening in this frontal. So this is where I'm placing my part, laying it all down so that way I can be able to repair this frontal properly. Right, so this is where the tracks come in, and I'm taking it back, way back into time, and I'm using this old school method that we use for quick weaves and putting tracks in between our hair, and I'm gluing these tracks in the frontal. I have a plastic bag on top of my mannequin head so that way it wouldn't stick to the mannequin head, and I'm going to be placing tracks on the frontal and gluing it down. But the placement is very strategic. I have at least a ½ inch from the frontal to the track. So that way, the more I layer, the more I place, you're only going to see hair. You're not going to see that I put tracks there, and you're going to be able to glue down the wig like normal. So that's what I'm doing right here. I'm measuring, I'm cutting, I'm gluing, and also leaving that space between the track and the frontal. So that way, when I do lay this wig down, honey, you will not see the track. Now remember, this hair glue is very temporary. Just like a quick weave, it doesn't last that long. This is just so that way you can maintain your frontal when you're in a bind. Some things that you can use, a method you can use to like hold you over until you're able to get a new frontal, or you don't want to necessarily toss out the wig, just to hold you down for as long as possible. You know what I'm saying? So after like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe a track will slide out, whatever, and you just fix it. But this is something for you to maintain and hold you down as long as possible until you can get a new frontal, new wig, or whatever the case is. As you can see, I'm up the top, right? And I'm getting real close to the part, getting the tracks close together so that way you can't really see it. As you can see, that this side is completely bald. There's no hair here, okay? So these tracks are going to be real close together, so that way this side of my head will be full. And because there's no hair for the glue to attach on, I did spray some Got2b glue spray just so that way it can harden the glue a little bit more, since again there's no hair like the other side, so it can really attach to. So I'm gonna be gluing this, spraying this, and I grabbed that too fast, gluing this and spraying this all the way to the top, just like I did the other side, and keeping in mind that I'm still ½ inch away from the beginning of the frontal, because again, just because I'm gluing these tracks does not mean this is still not a frontal. I'm still gonna lay these baby hairs and still make it look as natural as possible. Now, as I get closer to the top, I'm going to be laying the tracks at an angle because I'm choosing to do a side part, and in order for me to have a side part, this hair has to lay on my face. The way I wear my bang on my face. So I'm doing it at an angle, but I'm keeping in mind that I'm still a ½ inch away from the beginning of the frontal because I still want it to look natural and I still want to lay my baby hairs. And look at the way this falls. Like, you can't see the tracks. It looks like a full wig. It just already looks better than before, because baby, it was looking crazy. Oh, and while I have your attention, I would love, just love, if you guys would now hit a like, hit the subscribe button, notification button, a comment, a share, tell a friend, I love it all. I love it all, and I appreciate you all. Okay, so the level of growth and the change is remarkable at this point, but we're not done yet. I'm going to be taking eyeshadow and placing it behind the part in between the track that I already placed. And I'm not going to use black. I'm going to be using a very dark brown and black, just so that way it's not too pigmented, because if you use black, it's gonna look a little crazy unless your hair is black. Mine is blonde, so I need to make sure that the roots look a little decent. I want my roots to look like a 4, not a number 2 or a 1B. So I'm gonna be mixing it with a dark brown, a little bit of black, just so that way it can have some depth, but at the same time, and I have to make sure that I'm packing it in the frontal so that way you cannot see the track. All right, we want that part to be popping, and you do not want the track to show. So make sure you're doing it behind the part and in between the tracks. I'm also going to be using an eyebrow pomade and powder to define it, and use a eyebrow brush along with the concealer to brighten up the part, just so again that part can really pop. And you can already see a difference. You see a part, you see roots, you don't see any tracks, okay? Or balding for that matter, okay? And as you can see, I'm combing it, and you don't see any tracks. You see frontal, okay? Laid, all right? You see frontal, you see hair, you don't see any tracks. It's way fuller. Okay, no longer balding. See, can't see any tracks. I could do a little bit of baby hairs, okay, if that's your thing, because I know it's mine. All right, it's a completely different wig right now. And off camera, I straightened and did some baby hairs on my mannequin head, and I'm just laying it on. Now let's remember how crazy we looked before, okay? So I'm just placing this on. Baby hairs are a little bit laid already. You know, I'm gonna have to do a little bit of adjustments, but you know, we came a long way. This is just a maintain kind of thing, all right? Not saying don't get yourself a new wig, but if you don't have the coin right now and this is something that you have to do, especially with this lace shortage happening all of a sudden, we might have to use this technique. I was in quarantine and I wasn't buying a new frontal for quarantine. I just wasn't doing it. So this is what I did. Oh, I am really focused on laying these edges. But that's because, you know, I really take pride on what I do, you know, when it comes to giving looks and such. Speaking of looks, you know, you should go ahead and follow me on Instagram, because, you know, I'll be giving you looks over there, and I'll show you how I got those looks on here. So go ahead and follow me on Insta and subscribe. So I'm using this heat protectant, you know, so I can flat iron my hair. You know, I just did a nice recover on this hair, so I don't want it to dry it out too much. I use that heat protectant so I can get that real nice flat iron look. And, you know, look a little cute, looks real refreshed and revived. You know, I'm feeling it, I'm feeling it. Not for long. Not for long, because I decided to curl it. I was over the straighten, and I curled it because it wasn't necessarily giving me life. I see the recovery. I saw it was a little refreshed. It was a little revived, but it wasn't giving me life. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm giving you a little bit of curl for the girls. Now, if you're enjoying this little transformation, I suggest you go over to my TikTok, because I love doing transformations over there and being animated and such. So go ahead, follow me on TikTok so you can see other transformations that I do. Don't mind this curl technique that I'm doing right now. It's not actually my real curl technique. I was just home and I just wanted to show you how I revived this hair, and that curl was not doing it for me. So you know what I did? I cut it so that way the curl can really truly pop. All right, Gave it a little bit of Moroccan oil so that way it can get a little bit more hydrated. I still half-assed the curl, so let me real curl this bang. You know, if I'm gonna do it, let me do it, and I'm gonna do it right. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. A brand new looking frontal wig, wherever you want to call it, but it has been revived and recovered. Do you see that part? Do you see that part? Oh, okay. Do you see that frontal laid with the baby hairs? Wait, let me show you. Do you see how laid that frontal is? And the zhuzh and the bang. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys come back. Now go ahead, subscribe, and go ahead and watch that next video. You know, just go ahead. Go ahead. Yep, just go ahead. I know you want to. Just watch the video. Go ahead, click, and go ahead and watch it. I will see you guys next time.